Hey folks, this is Pastor Jim from Crosspoint Church in Bettendorf, Iowa. There are times in our lives we find ourselves experiencing a setback. We made plans, we moved forward those plans, and they just didn't work out the way we thought that they should. When we find ourselves in those situations, we can often feel despondent or depressed. We can blame God, we can blame other people. And this is exactly the situation that Joshua finds himself in. Coming off of a great victory at Jericho, he's continuing to expand his campaign through Canaan to take the land promised to him by God. The next area that he's going to do battle with is the city of Ai. So he sends some spies there to check it out. The spies come back with a report that says, we only need 2,000 or 3,000 men. It should be an easy victory for us. So Joshua sends 3,000 soldiers into battle against Ai, but they experience a sounding defeat, and 36 of Joshua's soldiers lose their lives. The problem is Joshua had greatly underestimated the amount of people in the city, and he'd also not counted on the amount of military aid that would come from nearby Bethel. And so Joshua and the elders are despondent. They're weeping. They're laying on their faces before God. And Joshua's doing what a lot of us humans do when we find ourselves at these times of setbacks. He's feeling sorry for himself. He's blaming God. He's saying, why did you bring us to this defeat? Why did you bring us across the Jordan River? How could we suffer such terrible loss? And God says, get up. Don't put this on me. He says, you've got sin in your camp, sin in your army, and you need to take care of it. You see, Joshua had made 3 mistakes. The first thing that he did is he made a terrible military decision and experienced defeat. When we make bad decisions, we can't blame those on God. The second thing that Joshua did wrong was that he blew the whole loss out of proportion. Remember that Joshua had a standing army of well over 100,000 men. So to experience a loss, although the loss of all human life is tragic, to experience a loss of 36 men in the grand scheme of a standing army of well over 100,000 men is just not that big of a deal. You see, sometimes we blow these setbacks way out of proportion, and they're just not as bad as we think that they are. In fact, typically they're not. And the third thing that Joshua did wrong was that he was unaware of sin in his army, and he had to get rid of it. We learn these things in our own lives when we experience these kinds of setbacks. The first is this: don't blame God for your lousy decisions. The second thing is that when you find yourself in these times of setbacks and discouragement, remember they're not as bad as you think that they are. And the third thing is this: we need to run from sin. We need to flee from it and get rid of it in our lives. If we will remember these 3 things, when we move forward with the plans in our lives, good things tend to happen. Good things happened in Joshua's life, and good things will happen in our lives as well. We're going to talk more about it this Sunday at 9:15 and 11. I hope you can make it there. I think you'll be glad that you did. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you then.
Here's what's coming up at Crosspoint Church.
Crosspoint has many opportunities for you to share the love of Christ through outreach. Families are invited to help build homes with Habitat for Humanity every second Saturday of the month. You can also spend some time serving a meal to those in need at Cafe on the Vine on the 3rd Sunday of every month. And for our local community in Bettendorf, each month you have the opportunity to fill a backpack with food for kids. Please sign up for any of these opportunities in the foyer. On Sunday, January 8th, our teens from 7th through 12th grade are invited to the 2017 Crosspoint Youth Kickoff. This night will be the beginning of great things to come for our students. Teens getting to know God, teens getting to know who they are in Christ, and teens getting to know one another. Don't miss this night. It's going to be an exceptional year. That's Sunday, January 8th from 5:30 to 7 o'clock p.m.
Join us for our monthly ladies' breakfast. The ladies of Crosspoint get together for food, fun, a devotional style message, and prayer. 9 a.m. every 3rd Saturday.